Today I'll be demonstrating my stage rig for bass, which uses an in-ear monitor system. The in-ear monitor system is the X5 system, and I'll show you how I incorporate that. I'll start with the signal chain. Of course, it starts with the bass and goes into my pedal board. One of the pedals I use is the Aguilar Tonehammer DI pedal. It's a preamp pedal, and the DI signal feature comes in handy here, and I'll show you how that works. The signal goes from my pedal board into the front of the Tonehammer 500 amp. This is my 210 cabinet, and together this system puts out a lot of sound, even when I'm on stage with a larger band. From here, the signal goes to the Behringer P1 in-ear amplifier. The P1 has two inputs for DI. One side I use to send my bass signal, which comes from the Aguilar Tonehammer pedal. The Tonehammer has its own DI out here in the front, and that signal goes to the PA. For this video, I'm using the Fishman to show us how the PA signal gets sent to the P1 here. So the P1 again has two inputs. The DI from my Tonehammer pedal goes to one of the inputs. The other input is the stage monitor mix for the band, and that comes from the PA. So the P1 then has my bass on one side and the band stage monitor mix on the other. It has a balance knob that lets me control how much of my ear signal is bass and how much is the band. It also has a volume control, which is very handy. The X5 receiver has its own volume control, so I have a lot of control over how much volume and how much signal I get in my ears. The transmitter for the X5 sits on top of the P1 with Velcro, and it sends a signal to the receiver that the X5 receiver. The advantage of having the wireless receiver is that it allows much more freedom of movement on stage. Without this, you would have a wire going into the P1 from your ears. I tried that, and that was very cumbersome. Didn't enjoy that experience at all. The X5 is much better. I did, when I first got the X5, try to use the transmitter with the PA. So I had that plugged into the PA, and I found that distance from my ears to the PA was too great for the X5, and I found that the signal would get interrupted and even lost completely in some cases. The distance here is much smaller, and the X5 does a great job and can handle that distance much better. Initially, when I got the X5, I tried to play on stage without my amplifier rig, and I found that I really missed having the bass that I really need to hear myself. The X5 does provide a bass signal, but it's much thinner, and after trying it without the amp, I returned to using my amp on stage, which works a whole lot better. That's the system, and I'm really happy with it. I think anybody who performs, especially in a band that does weddings and other corporate events where there might be a varied amount of band members on stage, depending on what kind of gig you're doing. If you do a lot of sub work, this comes in handy. This system is not as necessary if it's a smaller band and a smaller show on a smaller stage. But for the bigger shows, definitely comes in handy. I can hear everybody very clearly, including myself.